Hi, I'm Rodrigo, and today I want to talk to you about something that is very, very important in our day-to-day life. You can find this just about anywhere. The list is endless and includes anything from video games, televisions, laptops, smartphones, iPads, your school devices, and the list goes on and on. What I'm here to talk to you about is computer programming, or better known as coding. Coding is how people talk to a computer to give it instructions on what it should do. This is how you are able to make a phone call on your smartphone, turn in your homework assignments on your school devices, play video games on your favorite video game console, and even watch YouTube videos on your computer. This is all possible because people have taught computers how to do all these things. Well, you might be wondering, what is a computer anyways? The first thing that might come to mind when you hear the word computer is a personal computer, such as a laptop with a keyboard and mouse. But what you might not know is that a Nintendo Switch, a PlayStation 5, and even an iPhone can all be considered computers as well. As you can tell, there are many different types of computers, but they all share one thing in common. All computers are machines that can follow instructions. These instructions are the code that make the computers do what we want them to do. Much like in the same way people give their dogs instructions on what to do, whether it is sit, fetch, stay, or run, people write computer code to give computers clear instructions on what they should do. Without the code, a computer will simply not work. A computer is only as smart as the code we give it. So, how did the modern computer come to be? The history of the modern computer could be traced all the way back to ancient times when humans first began developing ancient tools that were used to simplify mathematics, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Instead of breaking their head counting using only the fingers on their hands, ancient humans began to develop tools to make math easier. One example of this would be the ancient Chinese math device known as the abacus. The abacus was basically just a manual calculator with sliding beads used to represent numbers. This was only one of the many ancient devices created by humans to make math problems easier. Along the way, to our modern times, many different devices would be created to simplify the math in our lives. Then, about 200 years ago, in the 1800s, inventors thought that using punch cards along with mechanical devices would allow them to create the first computers to solve very difficult math problems. One inventor, by the name of Herman Hollerith, was the first to successfully create a punch card system to help the United States count the number of people that lived in the country at that time. These early versions of computers did not look anything like our modern computers, since they were made up of gears, belts, levers, and shafts, and did not use any electricity. It wasn't until 1946 that the first electronic digital computer was invented by J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly at the University of Pennsylvania. It was known as the ENIAC, and it took about 3 years to fully build, and it was enormous. It occupied an 1,800 square foot room, which is about the size of a small house. Can you imagine if our computers were still that size? How would we even turn it on? From that point on, many of the computers later developed would be programmed through binary code, which is basically a combination of ones and zeros that would give early computers instructions. This process of writing computer instructions with ones and zeros was difficult and time-consuming. So we needed to find a better way to program computers. This is what led Grace Hopper, Navy Admiral, to come up with a simpler way of telling a computer what to do. She thought that using words instead of numbers and symbols to give computers instructions would make coding simpler. This is why she developed the first widely used computer language known as COBOL in 1953. It is still used to this very day by many companies. Here's a fun fact. The concept of debugging a computer program started when Grace Hopper found an actual moth in a computer that was not working. She was the first person to find an actual bug in a computer program. Since 1953, many other computer languages have been created to make giving instructions to computers even easier. This has opened up a world of possibilities, and now in our present day, new and exciting technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and virtual reality are beginning to emerge. This is all made possible through coding. I hope you find all this information exciting and tune into my next video where I will teach you how to create your own dance party character on code.org.